All right, everybody. 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. Let me see if I can get the stream pulled up here. Get everybody's chats going on here. Hope you're doing well on this Wednesday afternoon. We are actually going to be watching for a little bit better chance for rain out there today. Thank goodness, right? We really, really need it. Covers, as you can see on the radar there next to us, is actually looking a little bit better today. And I really think about 6, 7, 8 o'clock tonight, especially if you're along and west of I-75, much better chance for showers and thunderstorms. So, good news there. The bad news is it does come with a little bit of lightning, of course, in those thunderstorms, and that could cause a couple more wildfires. That's been happening past several days, so hopefully that's not going to be much of an issue. All right, let's get going. It's good to see everybody out there. Joe, Shay, Karma, good to talk to everybody. Can everybody hear me? I guess so. Let me turn this up just to make sure everybody can. Yeah, yep, you got me good. Okay, cool. All right, let's go. First, let's start with the radar that we have out there right now, and you can see we've got some spotty showers in the area. Most of the activity has been over to the east, and a lot of it's starting to fall apart. If you notice this area right in here, this is where the kind of the sea breeze line is. And as this is coming over this way today, this is going to get in this area and start to flare up. And I think that is our 6 o'clock time for showers and storms. This area here and then back out towards the coast. So right in here and that area there has a better chance later this evening. Not everybody's going to get rain. This is that time of year where, you know, oh, rainy season's here, but it hasn't rained in my house in a week. That can happen, right? And we're just getting into it, so we're kind of fighting some dry air upstairs. And we're getting rid of some of that today, and that's why the rain chance is a little bit better. But this overall just gives us a better chance to see some of the rain coming in. Bigger picture, you can see the flow is still out of the south and the east, and that really won't change. You can see our wind arrows here just basically pushing everything in that direction. We do get a little sea breeze, and watch right here, you can see a little sea breeze developing each day. And that is really what helps spark the showers and storms with us here. So, yeah, plenty of moisture around. You can see that especially in southeast Florida. They've had much more moisture in the upper levels of the atmosphere with some dry air that was sitting right in this area here, right over top of us. But that is starting to break a little bit, and that's why rain chances are coming up a little bit. All right, so that's that. Let's take a look at the forecast model for tonight. Here's about 3:40 this afternoon. You can see, let's go, this is about 7 o'clock. In fact, let me back up here and go a little bit slower. You see where the line is right there at 5:30? Right there where that sea breeze line is now. And then by about 7 o'clock, there's just a few leftover showers that push back towards the coast through about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then that's it, everything falls apart. So it's not a big chance, but there's a little bit better chance today than what we saw yesterday. Now tomorrow, kind of similar setup. This is around 1 o'clock. We're developing those afternoon storms that heat up. That's what we're seeing right now. Then they too will try and push back towards the coast. Although, you know, you see tomorrow, it's a little bit more of a northwest jog to everything. And you can see right along the immediate coast, yeah, a couple of showers, but better chance along and just east of I-75 tomorrow afternoon. Then as we get into Friday morning, we're dry. Friday afternoon, we start these right around 1 o'clock. Here we go. And then as we get into the evening hours, we're going to try and push some more rain back up along the coast. So, kind of a typical rainy season pattern. Again, we're trying to fight off some dry air aloft, but that will break. Each day that we get these storms popping up, that actually moistens up the atmosphere up above us as well. So that'll help as we go through this week to try and spread out a little bit more rain. I'm really optimistic, really hopeful that we get it because I know we need it all so bad. Deb, how you doing? Diane, good to talk to you. Joe, Kathy. All right, so yesterday marked the beginning of hurricane season. Still June 1 to November 30th with a statistical peak there right around September 10th. Remember we talked about the season perhaps going to May 15th. They're not moving that, at least not this year. But they did start updating, the Hurricane Center did, updating their outlooks on May 15th. So the past couple weeks, they've been doing those outlooks that they do that says 10% chance of this little area, or 20 or 30 or whatever. Hasn't been a lot out there. We did have Ana. Ana was one of the storms that we've had. So far, we've already got one named storm. Now, the averages went up. The averages now for named storms are 14, Hurricane 7, Major Hurricanes 3. Those were 12, 6, and 3. But when we got into 2021, we're in the new decade, so they go back, look at the last 10 years, average it, and come up with higher numbers. Because it's been busy. Since 95, it's been a lot busier, right? So then Colorado State, that's what the CSU is there, they came out with a forecast, and they said they expect 17 named storms, 8 of those to become hurricanes, and 4 of those to be major hurricanes, Cat 3 or higher. And then NOAA came out with theirs, and NOAA always uses a big spread. They say 13 to 20. Bottom line is, nobody's calling for 30 like we had last year, thank goodness, right? But they are calling for an above average season. So, 14 to 19 storms, that's definitely on the table. That's where a lot of the folks are right now. But that's a whole lot better. If we'd had that, it's a whole lot better than what we had last year. Now, those are just the number of storms. This means nothing when we talk about whether or not it's going to hit any particular location, right? So it only takes one storm to ruin your summer. So the odds are that we're going to see a few more storms out there. One of the reasons why is because we have warmer water temperatures, and this has been the case. This is warmer than normal. The warmer that water is, the more fuel it is to make storms. Now look around Florida and Gulf Coast. Some of that, it's near normal, maybe a little bit cooler than normal. But most of the tropical Atlantic, the areas that develop these hurricanes, tropical systems, is a little bit warmer than normal. So name that. Also, El Nino and La Nina. Last year we were in La Nina. La Nina normally means less wind shear. Okay? Wind shear knocks storms down. So if you have less wind shear, you can make more storms. Well, we just came out of La Nina. La Nina just ended about a month ago, technically. We're in what's called a neutral. We're not going to go to El Nino, which would give us more wind shear, which would be good, right? If you don't want storms, you want El Nino. But it looks like we're going to stay in a neutral phase. Initially, it looked like by the heart of the hurricane season, August, September, October, we were going to be looking at perhaps La Nina trying to come back. And the modeling on that right now is suggesting that may probably stay in a neutral phase all the way through. So that would help a little bit to keep the numbers down. Now, the other thing is the West African monsoon, and those are those showers and storms that come off of Africa. And that usually is something that we track when we get towards August, September, October, later in the season. Those are those big thunderstorm complexes that come off the desert there and then move out over towards Cape Verde Islands. And then if they can hold together, they basically are the nucleus of what these tropical waves are, right? So if you get more of those coming off of Africa, you could have a chance to make more storms. So those are the main reasonings behind the number. You can see there's actually a little flare up here. I shouldn't say out of the desert. It's south of the desert, obviously. But we're talking about these storms that come off in this area right in here. Cape Verde Islands right in there. But they come all the way across, and you just have to watch, see where they're going to go. So again, that's later in the season. This time of the year, we're looking in this area right in here. That's just about it right there. And a lot of these tend to come up and out. They come up this way, they come up that way, they come up and they go that way. This time of year, especially in June. So it's quiet out there right now, but one of the reasons why is we still have sometimes cold fronts come through. Now, we're not going to get cold air here this time of year, but you will get an old frontal boundary to come down and sit there. And if that's the case, you got to watch where this thing is, especially on the tail end back here, because it tries to develop. You get a high pressure sitting right here, right? Well, we look right underneath high pressures for development this time of year too. So that kind of explains it. If you look at all the systems that have developed since 1950, and I think this will populate here in just a second, most of them, come on, don't make me a liar. Well, I'm going to back it up here. Most of them have started in the Western Caribbean and in the Gulf of Mexico. Come on, this is a system that this thing gets bogged down because there's so many storms there. But I guess you have to take my word for it. Just so many, just like this. That's basically what it looks like. And so that's why we watch it very closely. The Western Caribbean is still warm. This is just strictly water temperature here. You need 80 degrees plus. It's like 86, 87 at our local beaches. So we've got plenty of warm water in here to make. In fact, some of the warmest water and the deepest, warmest is right in that area there in the Western Caribbean. And then again, you got the cold fronts that come through, and they can help get those things started. Now, in June especially, we tend to see a lot of dust coming off of the desert here and getting out in there. We call it the Saharan air layer. And that is not good for storms, right? That'll knock them down, that'll dry them out. That's typical. And some of that can make it all the way across even to us. Remember last June, I don't know if you remember or not, but last June we had a ton of this. And so it shuts everything down. But then as the month wears on, you see less and less, and things start to moisten up a little bit. We also tend to see quite a bit of wind shear over the tropical Atlantic. And that's this time of the year. that will start to wane as well, and so we'll have better chances for development as the month wears on. All right, that's it for the tropics right now. Also, meteorological summer started. I think the solstice is on the 20th or the 21st. I can't remember this year, of June. That's what we would initially say, the beginning of summer. But meteorological summer is the full months, June, July, and August. That's meteorological summer. Meteorological fall, September, October, November. Winter, December, January, February. You get the picture, right? Averages just came out since we're now in the 2021, so they could go back last 30 years. They keep doing that every 10 years. And now the average high temperature in Tampa has gone up from 90 to 91 degrees all the way through August, all the way through what we call meteorological summer. It's not a lot. It is a degree warmer. Yes, things are getting a little bit warmer. So that's where we stand with that. Okay, guys, any questions? Anybody out there got any questions? I'm only really watching on this one. I'm streaming on my YouTube page as well, too. You can check Bobby Deskin's weather there. But that's it. Nothing really brewing right now. We do actually have, let me take you back to this. And I'm not going to show it to you because the GFS does it. One of the models, the GFS, goes out 14 days. And it will always pop something up here and try and go up here and try and go up here. Days 11, 12, 13, 14, that far out, almost 2 weeks out in time. It likes to do that this time of year. Could happen, but I can't go on TV or come on here and show you a model that's almost 2 weeks out and say, hey, we got to watch this. It's what the model does. It's the time of year that we're supposed to watch it anyways, so we will. But if it starts looking like there's a better chance, if the setup looks a little bit better for me, then of course we'll start talking about it. But you're not really going to hear us say too much about it until it gets within about 10 days at least, because even that's a long, long time out. And we just don't want you to get upset about something you don't even need to be worried about. Time to get ready, that's for sure. Time to get ready for the hurricane season. Obviously, it's here. Anything can pop up pretty quickly, so you want to avoid all those lines standing at trying to buy plywood, which is super, super expensive right now. Okay, guys, that's it. Just want to touch base with you. I will see you tonight on 10 Tampa Bay at 5 o'clock. Have a good one, everybody. And I'll be watching the comments here for questions, so if you need anything, go ahead and post it right there, and I'll fill you in later.